Good morning, everyone. This video is related to the history of nuclear physics. So, in this video, we will discuss the historical development of nuclear physics, J.J. Thomson model, and Rutherford scattering experiment. First, we see what is nuclear physics. Nuclear physics is the field of physics that studies atomic nuclei and their interaction as well as how the nucleus is formed, what are the constituents of the nucleus. There are many applications in nuclear physics like nuclear weapons, nuclear power, nuclear medicine, agriculture, new radiocarbon dating, and many more applications. Sometimes we mix the nuclear physics with atomic physics. Atomic physics is different from nuclear physics from the aspect in atomic physics we study the atom as a whole including its electrons. But now we see the historical development in nuclear physics. In 1897, experiment on electric discharge through gases carried out by J.J. Thomson revealed that atoms of different element contain negatively charged constituents, that is electrons, that are identical for all atoms. The atom on a whole is electrically neutral, therefore atom must contain some positive charge to neutralize the negative charge. So in 1898, J.J. Thomson proposed first model of the atom. In this model, positive charge of the atom is uniformly distributed. As you can see in this picture, the background is the positively charged matter and negatively charged electrons are embedded in it. As here you can see, these are the negative charges. So this is like seeds in watermelon, or you can say that the plums in pudding, so sometimes it is called plum pudding model. Rutherford in 1906 proposed a classic experiment of scattering of alpha particles by atoms to investigate the atomic structure. The explanation of the result led to the birth of Rutherford planetary model of the atom, or also called nuclear model of atom. In this model, the entire positive and most of the mass of atom is concentrated in a small volume called nucleus, with electron revolve around the nucleus just as planet revolve around the sun. You can see here, this is the nucleus and electrons are revolving around the nucleus. So Rutherford model was a major step toward how we see the atom today. However, it could not explain many experimental observations like why atom emit light of only discrete wavelengths. Then in the experimental setup, a beam of 5.5 MeV alpha particles emitted from 83 Bi214 radioactive source at a thin foil of gold were collimated into a narrow beam by their passage through the lead bricks. You can see here, the beam was allowed to fall on a thin foil of thickness about 2.1 into 10 raised to the minus 7 meter. The scattered alpha particles were observed with the help of this rotating screen or detector consisting of zinc sulfide. A typical graph of total number of alpha particles scattered at different angle in a given interval of time is plotted. These dots are corresponding to the experimental data which was observed during the experiment. Based on this experimental data, Rutherford predicted a solid curve. Here you can see in the figure, solid curve, which was the theoretical prediction from the Rutherford formula, based on the assumption that target atom has small dense positively charged nucleus. Many of the alpha particle pass through the foil. You can see only 0.14% of the incident alpha particles scatter by more than 1 degree and 1 in 8000 deflected by more than 90 degree. We can see this with the help of simulations. Rutherford argued that To detect the alpha particles backward, it must experience large repulsive force. So with the help of these simulations, we can see, first we see if prediction based on J.J. Thomson model, as this is the plum pudding model. You can see the electrons are embedded in the positive background. So when we switch on the source, the alpha particles target the gold foil. So you can see that they are not deflected, they are simply passing through the matter. If we increase the energy, even then there is no change. Now I am turning on the traces so that you can clearly see there is no change in the path of the alpha particles. They are not deflected, so they simply pass through the. So basically alpha particles are combination of neutron and protons, 2 neutron and 2 protons, and they are not deflected even by increasing the energy of alpha particle to a maximum value. They are simply passing through the. Now if I decrease the value, the velocity of the alpha particle decreases, they are slow down, but there is no change in path of the alpha particles. Now we are looking at the Rutherford scattering experiment with the help of simulations. I am starting from the minimum energy. You can see that alpha particles are scattered by the nucleus. This is the nucleus, combination of neutrons and protons. So this force could be provided if the greater part of mass of the atom and its positive charge were concentrated tightly at its center. The incoming alpha particle could get very close to the positive charge without penetrating it, and such a close encounter would result in a large deflection. You can see as we increase the energy of the alpha particles, the alpha particle goes closer and closer to the nucleus, but they are not colliding with the nucleus. The alpha particles which are closer to the symmetry or the central axis of the nucleus, they deflected at large angle, but the alpha particle which are very far from the central axis, they are not deflected. So this argument supported the hypothesis of nuclear atom. This is by Rutherford is credited with the discovery of the nucleus. So in the Rutherford experiment, the entire positive charge and most of the mass of the atom are concentrated in the nucleus with electron some distance away. The electron would be moving in orbit about the nucleus just as planets do around the sun. So the experiment suggests that the size of the nucleus is in the order of 10 raised to the power minus 15 to 10 raised to the power minus 14. You can see at present we are at the nuclear scale 1.5 into 10 raised to the power minus 13 meter. And from the kinetic theory, the size of the atom was predicted in the order of 10 raised to the power minus 10 meter. Now we are at atomic scale. Size is 6.0 into 10 raised to the power minus 10 meter, which is atomic scale. You can see that alpha particles are diffracted by the central nucleus and electrons are not impacting the alpha particle. Now back on the nuclear scale, you can see it clearly in the video. So electron would seem to be at a distance from the nucleus of about 10,000 to 100,000 times the size of the nucleus. Thus, most of the atom is empty space. Hence, it is easy to see why most alpha particles go right through a thin gold foil. When alpha particle happens to come near a nucleus, the intense electric field scatters it through a large angle. The atomic electrons being so light do not appreciably affect the alpha particle, since alpha particles are heavy in comparison to electrons. So the scattering data can be analyzed by employing Rutherford's nuclear model of the atom. Since the gold film is very thin in the order of 10 raised to the power minus 7 meter, alpha particle will not suffer more than one scattering during their passes through the foil. Therefore, while computations of the trajectory of scattered alpha particle, single nucleus is enough. Under these assumptions, the trajectory of the alpha particle can be computed applying Newton's second law of motion and Coulomb's law of electrostatic force of repulsion between alpha particle and positively charged nucleus. So, then there are the conclusions from the Rutherford's scattering experiment. From the experimental data, we had predicted the size of the nucleus is in order of 10 raised to minus 14 meter and size of atom is 10 raised to minus 10 meters. So as we discussed earlier, there is enough empty space in the atom. So electrons are very light in comparison to alpha particles, so they have negligible influence on the trajectory of the alpha particles, and due to the Coulomb's interaction, the alpha particles get deflected. So finally we conclude that atom has a large empty space. The lump of mass located at the center is known as nucleus of atom. It is centrally positive charge where mass of atom is concentrated. The volume occupied by positively charged nucleus is only a small fraction of total volume of an atom. Electrons outside the positive nucleus provide a balance of positive and negative charge. The central nucleus has positive charge which is different in magnitude for each element. According to Rutherford's postulate, electrons revolve around the nucleus of an atom at very high speed in a fixed orbit. So according to Maxwell theory, accelerated charged particles release electromagnetic radiations. Therefore, electrons revolving around the nucleus will emit electromagnetic radiation and lose its energy. Ultimately, the electron would slow down, and due to Coulomb's interaction, the orbit will gradually shrink. Finally, the orbit will shrink and collapse in the nucleus. So Rutherford theory was incomplete because it does not suggest anything about the argument of electrons in the orbit. Thank you for watching.